This clip of Hasan Piker shocking his dog with a shock collar for getting up from her mat during Hasan's livestream has been blowing up. In the clip, Hasan is ranting about how much he hates America in typical Hasan fashion.
I hate this fucking country so much.
And when his dog, Kaya, sheepishly attempts to step off of her mat and leave her carefully placed position in the livestream frame.
You can be on a fucking mountain in the middle of Norway and get better internet than Los Angeles, California. And this is just like a moment of anger. This is a moment of fucking anger for like something that is just so routine, so silly, such a first world problem. But it is emblematic of all of America's much more consequential violence. Okay? It's the same reason as to why America...
Hasan immediately crashes out on Kaya for her audacity to freely walk around the room and reaches for something off screen, causing her to yelp and jump back to her spot.
Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop. Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
Now, Hasan, rather than expressing any kind of concern for what would otherwise be an unexpected yelp from his dog, any dog owner could tell you that dog yelps, usually it's because she's in pain, causing concern. Well, instead, he tells her to stop being such a baby, likely because he expected the yelp, because he's the one that likely caused it.
You're being such a baby. It's just, you're making her stressed. She just literally is so incredibly spoiled from my mom.
Now, mind you, this is the only time the dog moves over the course of an entire 4.5 hour long period. Uninterrupted period. Now, I don't know about you, but in my experience, dogs have a tendency to move around, even mellow or lazy ones. This deviance in expected behavior, along with her sheepish demeanor, indicates that this is learned behavior. She knows she's not supposed to leave her spot, otherwise she'll be punished. This is not the first time she's been punished for this behavior, and it's highly unlikely this is the first time she's been explicitly shocked for this reason. Hasan and his ball lickers have denied the allegation, claiming that first, Kaya merely snagged her paw on the mat after being chastised, and this is what caused her to yelp in pain. However, keen-eyed viewers spotted the shock collar that Kaya was wearing in that very live stream. Moreover, Hasan himself has claimed to own a shock collar and even described them as being incredibly effective.
My old roommate wanted to use a shock collar for fish, and his dog's barking. I couldn't do it. I have it still. I bought it. They are incredibly effective.
Hasan, in response, shows off the collar on stream, claiming that it only has the capacity to vibrate, not shock.
This is the one that they saw. It has the capacity to vibrate, and that's it. Are you happy? That's it. There's the air tag. There's the fucking vibrator.
However, a user on X known as Lonerbox already identified the very model Hasan uses and claims that Hasan is not using the vibration-only model and likely removed the shock prongs and possibly covered up the ports with tape.
Closely match the ET300 Mini Educator half-mile remote e-collar, which does have shock prongs. It seems to match in shape, in the positioning of the charging port, in the texture of the plastic, unlike this one with the much more curvy light than the one Hasan has. This one, which is vibrate only, also has its charging point on the side. The one Hasan has the charging point in the middle, much like the shocking version, where the prongs that could deliver the shock are simply removable. You can just remove them. Or apparently, maybe, plausibly, ostensibly, cover them with black tape. That seems to be where we are now. Okay.
All of this indicates that while Hasan is farming his cute dog for views and to improve his image to look more personable, Hasan actually achieves this facade by intentionally harming Kaya, betraying his attempt at likability. In a pathetic follow-up explanation, Hasan claims Kaya gets plenty of exercise and that he doesn't want her lying on the ground instead of on her bed because it's bad for her joints or something.
You let her roam around the house? I'm not a hate watcher, just curious. Okay, so let me address a couple things really quickly. Not only have I addressed this, but I've also shown in videos like Kaya's day-to-day experiences and stuff like that. Obviously, she gets out. She has an incredibly active morning. And not only that, but she also has an incredibly active afternoon. She gets 2 hours of playtime every morning at either the gym or at the park that I go to. And then as a big dog, as big dogs oftentimes do, she passes the fuck out for extended periods of time throughout the day. As far as not letting her roam in the room itself, there's a very specific purpose for that. The reason why she's not allowed to roam inside of this room, with the exception of like stretching or getting up, getting down, drinking water, things like that, is because she likes to lay on the ground. When she lays on the ground, that's terrible for her fucking joints.
Now, Hasan says, with the exception of stretching or getting up or getting down, except the very moment that she does just that, Hasan shocks her and chastises her. So I just find this explanation really hard to believe. He goes on to claim that everything he does with his dog is with a professional trainer or vet.
Every single thing that I do with this dog is either with a professional dog trainer or with a vet.
Which, personally, I find that hard to believe. I mean, Hasan, you know what's also bad for joints? Lying in a tiny bed for hours while restricted from freely moving and stretching. Dude, I mean, nobody's buying this garbage. All of this reveals really how twisted and unempathetic Hasan really is. After all, how someone treats animals is a pretty good testament of their character. Here, Hasan claims he doesn't care when dogs are suffering.
It's just such a lib-ass, like, oh, dude, please don't get a Frenchie. I just wrote a Vox article talking about how problematic they are. Like, I don't give a fuck. I know they have breathing problems. I know they're incredibly fucking inbred. I don't give a shit. I know. I don't care. Like, I don't give a shit. This is a dog.
Here's Hasan yanking on his dog's tail, saying he'll kill him if he runs.
Motherfucker, come here. Stay. If you run right now, I'll fucking kill you. Like, I'll actually kill you, okay? In front of everyone. Stay.
This shot collar event is far from a one-off, and if you've been paying attention, I mean, you've known Hasan is a messed up guy for a long time. But what else can we really expect from Hasan? His complete lack of empathy doesn't end with animals. Hasan has a track record of antisocial, violent rhetoric against his political opposition.
I'm sick and tired of it. Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be fucking showing your opponents guts on there, okay? You need to be gutting them. You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their intestines just ride on stage. What the fuck is this shit, man? Slice them up. Slice them and fucking dice them. What the fuck is this?
It's hurt poor people that they can afford housing in Berkeley. I don't know how that works.
Well, my understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott, okay? You wouldn't make Rick Scott, former governor of Florida, Rick Scott, you wouldn't make him the current, what is his current office? What is he? He's the Richard Lynn Scott, is an American attorney, businessman, politician, Navy veteran, serving as the senior United States Senator from Florida, a seat he has held since 2019.
874 Bellevue Drive, and I'm gonna kill you with my AR-15. Like, that's the type of messages they were leaving in this dude's office, and he's resigning. So I think that people are a lot more radical now. This is an unprecedented time to really get others on board, to explain to them that it's not your neighbors, it's not like a Guatemalan migrant that is responsible for all the shit that you're going through on a daily basis.
You know, it's your neighbors, your bosses are fucking you over, it's family members are fucking you over.
And I think this is a unique opportunity to get even Deborah's and Barbara's on board with that, like White Wymon's. And you actually wrote about this, and it was a great video where you talked about, you know, someone has to do it. See, when I say that, everyone knows exactly what I mean. I think that shows that there's a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, and untapped revolutionary potential, as a matter of fact. And it's a great opportunity for organizing, I think, in these unprecedentedly horrible times.
He is literally promoting political violence. His defenders might say that he's joking, he's being ironic, it's in Minecraft whenever he makes these statements, or that these people are Nazi fascists, they deserve it. Well, first of all, in this day and age when political tensions are reaching dangerous levels, these calls for violence, even when made jokingly, are reckless and should be taken seriously. Even if Hasan is joking, which given his demeanor and lack of empathy, I highly doubt, I think he's being genuine when he calls for violence. This kind of rhetoric can easily be taken seriously by his enormous audience of tens of thousands of live, impressionable viewers. It's highly irresponsible for him to do this given his influence. Secondly, Hasan has a track record of calling even moderate voices or normie, like free trade type Republicans as Nazi fascists. The bar is so low and unspecific that he and many other leftists and liberals even are labeling essentially everyone who, for example, voted for Donald Trump at one point or another, or are even just moderately conservative as some kind of Nazi fascist or Nazi fascist sympathizer of sorts. This puts tens of millions of Americans, everyday people, not deranged psycho murderers or serial rapists, but everyday law-abiding people, into that category that he now claims it is acceptable to commit acts of violence against, or at the very least, it's acceptable to be indifferent to their suffering or misfortune. I mean, this is sick, inhumane, immoral, and distinctly un-American. But this is who Hasan Piker really is. He doesn't denounce violence, he promotes it. Hasan Piker is known for his anti-American screeds. He goes off on eating the rich and galvanizing the proletariat and other low IQ, unironic Marxist slop when he himself is the Nepo nephew of Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks Network, where he got his foot in the door for political broadcasting. He is a textbook champagne socialist, but his hypocrisy is far from the worst part. Unironically, being any kind of Marxist in the Big 25 is just downright laughable. Marxism, by far, and it's not even close, was the political ideology responsible for more death than any other in the 20th century. Whether you're talking about the Soviet purges and gulags, famines such as the Holodomor, Mao's Great Leap Forward, Pol Pot's Khmer Rouge, and others, Marxist ideology has a death toll of around 100 million people. Now, I'm not one to typically fearmonger about Marxist ideology. I don't think Marxists are the greatest threat to our American sovereignty. I really don't. There's just not a lot of them. But despite that, it's undeniable. Marxist ideology and its history of political violence are inextricable. Even with a more nuanced look at history, for example, Stalin did do some admirable things, such as industrializing Russia from a primarily agricultural country to one of the world's leading industrial superpowers in about just 20 years. From a moral perspective, it does not excuse the genocides committed under the directive of Marxist ideology. And as such, Hasan simply cannot claim any kind of moral high ground. But moreover, the fact that he can't even properly label fascists or Nazis indicates he doesn't have a firm grasp on reality, let alone right-wing politics. He's just not a very smart guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But despite Hasan's numerous terms of service violations, he remains unbanned on Twitch. He's one of the biggest streamers on the platform, consistently pulling in tens of thousands of live viewers. He's committing animal abuse live on stream, but what's even worse are his incessant calls for violence, even amidst rising left-wing political violence, which, in a serious country, frankly, would land him in prison. I remain pessimistic that Twitch will do anything to punish Hasan beyond a slap on the wrist given their clear bias for left-wing politics. Conservatives and other political commentators explicitly to the right of the moderate left have been getting banned for years for far less, and people like Hasan have cheered it on. If you still apply the rhetoric, I may disagree with what you're saying, but I'll fight to the death, your right to say it, with these people, you are naive. They do not care. They are not principled. They are not good faith actors interested in the truth. They lie when it suits them, and they will hold your own principles and morals against you, but they will never hold themselves to the same standard. They will hang you by your own principles. They hate you, and they want you dead, as evidenced not just by Hasan, but the outpouring of vitriolic jubilation from these dysgenic freaks when Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
Yo, they got Charlie Kirk, bro. I've never been happier.
Never believe the reason I'm smiling. And it has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. Nothing to do with...
I would say pour one out for Kirky Boy, but I don't waste good beer on little bitches.
I haven't posted on TikTok in a long time, but I'm gonna now because rest in peace, Bozo!
Charlie Kirk just got put down like a fucking dog in Utah, and I could not be happier. Praise fucking be.
I do not, and I will not, ever feel bad when bad people get what the fuck they deserve.
Charlie Kirk got shot? That's awful. That's so sad. Hope he recovers well.
I just heard that someone shot Charlie Kirk? Dang it. Ah, shucks. Thoughts and prayers.
And I was no fan of Charlie Kirk, but I was devastated by his killing. It really disturbed me. I was disturbed for days. The reactions to his killing remains a good litmus test to separate those that frankly have souls and those that do not. These same people that celebrated when you got censored are now crying now that it's happening to them. And now they're pretending to be the arbiters of free speech now that it's politically expedient. And this is most evident with the recent cancellation and uncancellation of Jimmy Kimmel. Anyway, I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. Many Americans are just as tired of the double standards, browbeating, political betrayal, and violence as I am, and it feels very much like we are at an inflection point. I hope we see less violence in the future, and I explicitly disavow violence, but we should all hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Take your safety and the safety of the people you care about seriously, and become difficult to kill, in case one of these freaks takes Hasan's violent rhetoric to heart. Well, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Help me reach my goal of 500 subscribers. I'm planning on putting out more content like this in the future. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Will this blatant display of animal abuse be the straw that breaks the camel's back for Hasan, or, well, nothing, as usual, will ever happen? Follow my other socials in the description. I stream regularly here on YouTube as well as on Twitch and Kick, at least until I get banned. Hopefully I don't get banned though. And thank you guys for watching, and God bless.